Good morning, everybody. It's 11:11, and we get Agita there, a baby there, and a baby there. Just getting up. Got up a while ago, but I was just vegging, lying in bed, and babies were on the bed with me, and just kind of wandering around. And they had treats earlier, but now I'm going to feed everyone. And I'll just wait and see if I hear from the delivery people for the time window for tomorrow, so I can let my contractor know and stuff like that, you know. Hello, everybody. It's later the next day, and I'm home with the kids. I heard from the delivery company that the bathtub and shower are being delivered tomorrow with a very weird window, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, so it's kind of their last, and I guess because, it's coming from London, and it's, their later delivery window. So I told my contractor that I'm willing to go there and, and be there 4 to 8, and I might even take the babies with me just for a day trip and to get them used to the trip and to the house, and they can be in the downstairs bedroom, and I've got a litter box there already, and they've been really insistent on trying to play with Agita lately, and Agita becomes Agita. He says that snarls and turns into this level 2 alligator thing. I mean, it's not a full-blown fight, but it's the hissing and the snarling and the hitting. It scares me. Doesn't seem to scare them. They're very brave, So I'm like, they just really want to play with their sister. So I'm like going, maybe it'll be nice for them to have a bit of a trip, so they can play at the house in that one room and have an adventure, and then maybe they're just feeling a bit bored, and I guess they're going to have some alone time, and maybe she'll miss us all. When we come back, she'll be nicer to her brothers. Yeah, right. But here I am at the Everest Hakka house. I didn't make the day trip today because of the rain. It was actually snowing earlier. I didn't go because of the snow, but then it turned to rain. And my contractor said he was going to be there anyway, between 4 and 8, with his assistant to help to take the bathtub and stuff up. So since he said he's going to be there, and there's really not a lot of point, and I didn't want to take the kids, the boys, I thought there might be like freezing rain or something along the way, and it's a miserable day for driving anyway. It's just pouring rain. So I ended up staying at home with the kids and just relaxing, and everyone was getting along. And I said, okay, since I'm home and I'm not doing anything else, I might as well go out for a nice lunch, even though it rained. But I brought the Mini. It's just down the road. So I brought the Mini, and I'm having, I had the soup, corn soup, and this is chili shrimp with the sauce and fried rice. And then as soon as I finish this, I'm just going to go straight home to the kids and stay as dry as possible. And I'm coordinating the delivery from here. Hello, everybody. I'm back home now, and this is what has been happening lately. Keitha is there, and they want to get closer, and they want to play, and she growls, which is why I actually wanted to take the boys with me today on the day trip, just so that everybody has a little time and space, and they could play there, and, maybe they're just getting bored, But with the weather, it turned out to be just rain, but still, my contractor is going to be there, so... Hello, everybody. Agita there. One of the babies there. Very comfortable. And one of the babies there. Now, the good news is I heard from my contractor that the bathtub and the shower got delivered right at 6. We were hoping before 6 rather than before 8, as they said. The window was 4 to 8. They delivered at 5:58 p.m. So, and I'm glad I didn't go all the way. And it's not snowing right now, but it is still wet. And it would have been a wet drive there and a wet drive back. And I just relaxed at home with the kids all day, and except for going out for lunch. Everybody seems to be getting along. There was a little bit of growling. One of the babies got a little too sitting there, and she wanted to sit there, and she growled at it. But other than that, everyone is getting along. Everyone has got their own spaces. One is here, and I was here, and one is there, and one is there. So at least the bathtub, and now he can. He didn't want to actually book the plumber until the tub was actually there in the house. Later in the day, just had fed the kids, had the leftover takeout from lunch, and everybody's very nicely settled here. And so, all in all, I suppose a productive day. I didn't actually go out there, but the bathroom stuff got delivered. Hello, everybody. It's the next day. Agita's there. It's about afternoon, about 2:30. So we've got Agita there, or 2, something like that. We've got Agita there. Both the babies here. One baby there and one baby there. And yesterday I stayed in with the kids, watched some streaming, exchanged texts with a friend who's on a vacation on a road trip, and she made some good points. Some kind of helped with my perspective. So that was nice. And then I went to bed, got up early morning. Gave the kids treats, talked to my father because I wanted to film what's going on with my house. That the new delivery and all of that stuff. That pretty much everything that is needed to complete the house is there now. It's just, and most of the work is to be done by the plumber anyway. And just waiting for the railing. So I talked to him about that, and then went back to bed. Hello everybody, just saw Ferrari. I guess it's car related, but I knew that all along. But it's racing. Racing never did anything for me. I mean, people think because I like cars, I'd be interested in racing. Can't stand racing, actually. And the movie was interesting in terms of information and the personalities and the Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari, all that stuff. It also does illustrate how completely unnecessary and dangerous racing is. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's just the nutty professor here. I like cars. I don't like racing cars. Anyway, bye for now. I'm going to pick up something from the grocery store and head back to the kids. I had my veggie poutine while I was watching it. Bye for now. But he just fed the kids. So he got Agita running around there. And we got one of the babies here. And we got one of the babies eating dry food. And I just cooked. I stayed home all day. I didn't hear from the Glasses people. It was today or tomorrow. So I'm hoping tomorrow. They said definitely by tomorrow. So I just stayed in all day. And I did a little bit of writing. Just kind of some updates and stuff like that. And journal entries, and stayed with the kids. And I cooked what I call a Spanish omelet. It's with onions, tomatoes, peppers, fresh garlic, garlic cloves, and then lots and lots of cheese on top, and then you broil it. So my mother taught me this. I don't know if this is a genuine Spanish omelet, but she called it a Spanish omelet. So I'm going to have that. I haven't had it in a long time. I haven't actually cooked eggs in a long time. So I'm going to have that while watching TV and just staying with the kids. Bye for now. With a simple thing like glasses, there has to be drama llama. And apparently the people here, they're nice people, and they're getting upset because the lab had promised, and they said on Wednesday they said it's already been shipped, and today the people have already left the office, and I didn't bug them yesterday because they said either yesterday or today, and definitely for sure today. So I gave them as much time as possible. I came later today going, they must be here by now. It turns out that, and after they called here and they called there and they called the manager, and the manager wasn't in the shop and in the factory, and then the girls had left early, and there's all kinds of. Finally, the manager calls them and goes, "Oh, it's already been shipped. It's sitting at the couriers here, down the road." So now the couriers don't deliver on weekends, so it won't be until the shipping company until Monday. And I'm going, I've managed with these things. They're not comfortable. And they said 2 weeks. Usually it's a week. So I said, look, I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to go to the couriers. And they said, well, there might be a problem. You have to have the tracking number. Now, this guy, the optician, the owner of the shop, he's willing to go. They're very nice people. He goes, they'll give it to him. They won't give it to me because I'm not the shop. So they'll give it to him. So I said, if you want to go there now, I can drive you. And he goes, no, I can drive. So they're working on that. And then the whole thing is that they have to find it. It has to be in a box somewhere in the warehouse. And then I have a feeling they're going to go, it has to be done Monday. And then they'll courier it here. And then I have to come on Monday. So 2 more days of this. Oh, shit. Well, as expected, they say Monday now for the glasses. And the guy was willing to go to the IC whatever courier, depot. But they are like going, oh, it's in there, we don't know where it is. They're going to get it on Sunday night in their system and they'll be able to find it. And there's too many boxes, and even if you come, it's going to be too much of a hassle. It'll be delivered to the shop noon on Monday, so they say. So I was a bit disappointed, and it's not their fault. The shop people, they were very apologetic, and he was ready. He was ready to get in his truck and drive to that place, and I was going to follow him in the car, and then they started with this, oh, we can't find it, and it's too much trouble, and you have to wait till Monday, and so they were very apologetic, and I'm like, they did everything they could. I mean, if they had let me know last week, I would have driven to friggin' Pickering to pick them up to the lab. But it's okay. I mean, it's just nothing I can do. At least I have these things and I can see and I can drive. It's just not comfortable. That's all. So, after all that disappointment, and it's supposed to be a big snowstorm tonight, and salt, and snowed in over the weekend. It hasn't started yet. It's supposed to start any minute now. And I was going to postpone washing the car till after the snowstorm. But then I said, I do have the Pacific off. I need to go out over the weekend. It's been sitting there clean for a few days. And I want to get this one cleaned inside. I'll feel better. The windows and all, they get fogged up really easily. And I don't wipe those. I don't do a good job when I wash, when I clean the car. So I'm like going, I was disappointed about the glasses. The least I could do is get this little car. So it cost $40. And I've already mainly cleaned it inside. But they're going to wash the mats, and they're going to vacuum, and they're going to clean the windows. Okay, here I am in the waiting room of the car wash. Last time I came here, but there was so much stuff in the Pacifica, they had to come and get me to move it out and remove it, because they're not allowed to touch possessions. But this time I cleared everything. I threw garbage, I put the other stuff, the non-garbage, into the Pacifica. Look at so much space. So as far as I know, there's really nothing. They just have to vacuum and wipe, and they wash the mats and clean the windows and all that. And they did a nice job. Look how nicely that's vacuumed, and I went back to give the guy a small tip, because they did a very nice job, And the windows are nice and clean, and the mats are clean. Yeah, I can't complain. Even put a little freshener, an air freshener with there. I think that's an air freshener. I'm not sure if I want it hanging there, but Hey, I ordered a vegetarian meal for when Chinese, just fried rice and stir-fried vegetables, pick up on my way back. And when I drove out of the parking lot of PetSmart, the closest grocery store seems to be this. The blue place. Walmart. I haven't shopped here in years. I did my grocery shopping here, essentials like eggs and bread and waffle fries and some kind of Indian, instant pav bhaji thing, which looks kind of interesting. So anyway, that's what's happening. Grab this, pick up the takeout, and hope I make it home before the storm. Car is very clean. Bye for now. Okay, everybody, I made it back just before it started to snow. So all of that went well, except for the not getting the glasses. But it's kind of beyond their control and beyond my control at this point. Nothing I do. I have to wait till Monday. Another 2 days of these glasses, but can't do anything. They did a pretty good job of cleaning the car inside and out. At least I got it back before the snow started. Just going to start any second now. It's clean. Maybe they could have done a slightly better job of the mats and of the front window. But and I had done the main work anyway in terms of throwing out all the garbage and transferring stuff into the Pacifica so they could clean. But they did a good job. I mean, I can't, it's and they did wash the mats. Maybe the mats were just very dirty to begin with. So they did a good job. I'm not complaining. Okay, I'm gonna in spring I'm going to get the Mercedes done. It'll cost the same as this. They charge $5 extra for SUVs, but between this and the Mercedes, it will be the same price, $40. everybody got home a few minutes ago. Agita's there. One of the babies is there. And the other baby is here. And I just put away the grocery shopping, such as it was, eggs and bread and stuff like that, and some frozen, pre-cooked Indian food and stuff like that, vegetarian. And that's my dinner. It's Chinese vegetarian meal, fried rice and tofu and stir-fried broccoli or something like that. It's like $10, so that, and then I suppose the positive thing is I did not get my glasses, but the positive thing is I did get the mini washed, and I made it back just before the snow started. And it's actually, I was in the elevator. I got into the underground. It was still dry. It was about to get wet. But I made it just into the underground just when it was still dry. Parked the car, unloaded the groceries, and just carried it up, didn't have a cart. And in the elevator, I'm talking to this lady, and she goes, oh, she was walking from somewhere, and she got caught, like within the last 5 or 10 minutes while I was parking the car and taking out the groceries and kind of taking pictures of the car. She was walking back, and she said it was really bad hail, and she got caught in the hail coming back, and I'm like, I'm glad my car didn't get hailed on, it's kind of bad. Felt bad that she got hailed on, but my car's dry and it's parked, and I'm up with the kids, and I got groceries, and I got take out food for fed the kids, and they like today's flavor. So what I bought today, and this is and there's still some left in that container, but this is my own supper, veggie. Plate for one with vegetable fried rice, stir fry, veggies, spring roll, which is nice soggy, and I had some Spanish omelet left over from last night. So that's my supper. Everybody, can you believe this? One of the babies is on the bed. He's looking a bit warily, but there's no hissing, snarling, attacking yet. No, just stay here, sweetie. Keep at least 3 feet. 3 feet social distance. Your sister is not happy about this. Yep, over here, 3 feet. Yes, okay, that's better. She's going to freak in just a second. I can sense it. Anyway, and the other one is here. I've just been resting at home, long texts, emails, to friends, which I may paste into some other writing, and I want to do some other writing, and I'm just enjoying being at home with the kids. And look at that, this is family time. Anyway, bye for now. It's now a few hours later, and look at that. I'm not going to disturb them because Agita's quite happily sleeping there. And brother is 2.5 feet. Sort of just about her social distance range, and she's quite accepting of it. And the other baby is here, and I'm still just relaxing, just a relaxing day at home with the kids. I haven't even made a morning journal yet. 6 o'clock. I'm about to, and I did some writing. I replied to friends and stuff like that, and I can do some pasting, and then I'm just going to relax with the kids. And this has been a very, very nice day because of this. Everybody's getting along, Which is, Agita getting along. Anyway, bye for now. Good morning, everybody. Agita's there. One of the babies is there. And the other baby's there. I think this one was looking at the reflection from the phone on the ceiling. This is kind of a hobby of theirs. Now, yesterday I just stayed in these awful glasses, and I ended up staying in and just watching an entire season of True Detective on Crave on my phone, because I can watch on my phone without glasses, I just hold the phone really close. Just, how when I'm texting or whatever, when I'm checking stuff on the phone, when I'm surfing the internet in the phone, I don't wear glasses. So I watched an entire season, the second season of, it was okay. It was not, roughly based on Oedipus Rex, the storyline, very roughly. But anyway, so I saw that, I just, binge watched a whole season of a detective show on on my phone, fed the kids, relaxed with the kids, didn't have to wear my glasses, and watched until like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I skimmed some of the seasons. It was getting a little, repetitive. But I watched most of it. So now I got up in the morning, spent time with the kids, had a good night with the kids, fed the kids, and it's bright out. I think it's cold, but it's bright, and I want to take the Mini out now that it's nice and clean, and the roads are dry and clean. So I'm going to take the Mini out and have brunch, and I don't know, I probably go to Tibet. Hello everybody, I'm here at the Tibetan place. I haven't been here for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I explained, I said I've been sick, and I'm recovered now. And it's nice to, they're so friendly. It's like, like eating at families. And the food is really good. They look after you. I just really feel bad that I'm the only customer. Now they've hired a marketing person. I really hope it helps. She's here now taking pictures to post and stuff like that. So, but I'm the only customer, and I feel kind of bad about that because it's a nice place. They're good people, good food. Very reasonable. All of this is like $10, with tea. So and the roti is fresh. It's really, really good food. And the only thing is that it's the same thing I come for the same breakfast or brunch. So it's chana and aloo and egg. And a jar. With all of that for $10, it's very good. I should really come for the evening sometime. And have like a curry and naan or something like that. Anyway, from here, PetSmart and Drug Mart, and then back to the kids. Bye for now. Hello everybody, it's me, the Nutty Professor. Some news, just a little kind of synchronicity, sort of. I'm sitting there, I taped the little bit of footage of eating my chana, I did mention, I think, in that the restaurant had hired a marketing person who was there and taking pictures and stuff like that. And then the owner of the restaurant came to me, one of the owners, and said, do you mind doing an interview? Our marketing person is here and is doing, social media stuff. So I did a couple of, so she came and I just said, I like the food here. And as usual, Nutty Professor kind of rambles on. So I go, yeah, I really like the food. And it was like a minute and a half. And I realized that in social media you need, this kind of became a point later as well. But social media, like me just talking as a customer for a minute and a half was too long. So I said, do you want me to do it again? Do it like 30 seconds. I think I got, even the second time, I think it was like under a minute. The Nutty Professor doesn't do, precise, doesn't do short, and that's part of the. So I'm sitting there. I finish my food. It's get it packed up, pay, and the marketing social media person is there. And I talked to her when she taped the little interview with me, and I just started thinking. I'm like going, maybe I should just ask. I mean, I didn't look for this, but it's what Jung calls the synchronicity. I mean, and I told her. I said. Tried to describe Nutty Professor podcasts, the 275 of them, and I showed her a little bit of what I do now, and that's not edited. The early ones were edited. The early ones were professionally done in a studio with the images on the background and the names of the writers and all of that stuff, and images of cats and funny stuff. Don't do that now. So I went from the 1,000 viewers, 800, hundreds of viewers, down to like 20 to 40 now. And she was saying if you want to increase the viewers, then you have to go short. You have to go like Instagram, and then get people to go from Instagram to YouTube, and you have to be really short and you have to be focused. And I said, that's the thing with my podcast, is that they're all over the place, there is the thread of addiction and my own approaches and the inner werewolf and the inner this, and then the return of the hero, shadow, all of that stuff. And I keep modifying it. So there is a framework. There is that. It's really based on my experiences. But, and it's also focuses on the rich channeling, the day-to-day, the cats and the cars and the washing the car, which my out-of-province friend sees that as a very positive thing because it's a positive rechanneling, rather than going to party. And she goes into getting the car clean. She's happy every time I show washing the car. So, and then, the food things and the animal things and, the personalities of my kids and Agita and the babies and going to the art gallery and going to movies, and I've got mini movie reviews, and it's all over the place. Now, do I want to? Do I want to try to, focus, and do I want to increase my viewership? I told her, I said, I have a couple of new viewers, like an acquaintance, a family friend who kind of likes the podcast, finds them interesting and funny. And, I got the chap I met at the buffet who sends me questions occasionally about AI, and I answered it. I'm like going, rather than a psychological approach, I favor a more literary approach of, William Gibson, and talk about that. And so I do have very few viewers, and it generates a little bit of, correspondence, and if somebody wants to ask a question, I will, but I have I have 20 to 40 viewers, and I keep saying that, and I told her that. I said, I don't think she'd heard of Jordan Peterson, but she knew Joe Rogan, but not Peterson, and she didn't know of Useless Farm, which I think is brilliant marketing, and the podcasts are perfect. They're 1 minute to 2 minutes, and they're funny and they're sarcastic, and the animals have personalities, and she gets to help the animals, and she gets to look after them, and she gets donations, and and she's helped me become more of a vegetarian thanks to Brad the Rooster. I've given up eating chicken, so she has she's made a difference. She has, which I would see as a change in the world for the better. You got one more person at least not eating chickens, so I don't have an agenda like that. So I'm trying to tell her, only agenda I might have, it's not left, it's not right, it's not, the only agenda I might have is, the only reason I do these, I do them for myself. As my friend out of province says, I do them entirely for myself. But the only agenda I as I said to her, is that I want to say that, you can deal with addictions on your own. It's a lot harder. And I gave up my analyst too, because that was not helping. It was, I felt it was not the drug. So it's very, very difficult. But so here I am. My very few regular viewers will know that PetSmart is my thing. I come buy favorite flavors for the kids. My cupboard is stocked full of gourmet cat food, but but I always buy more when I'm nearby a PetSmart. They're everywhere. So I got some various flavors in the controls, and some little kittens there. I'm not gonna go closer to look, because if I look, I want to take them home. Anyway, so that's what's happening. Ooh, there's a dog. But anyway, got a drug mart, and then back to the kids. Bye for now. Drug mart for cola. Not that kind of drug. Okay, bye for now. Everybody, I'm here at Drug Mart. I stopped at the other Drug Mart, and they run out of cola. I don't say Coke anymore for obvious reasons. They ran out of cola, so I came here to the other one, closer to the condo, and they have cola. So there's just a couple left, so I grabbed one. Of a snowman chocolate thing left over from Christmas. And anyone who has been following the very, very few viewers will know that, snowmen, Santa Claus, were a theme, because we had the bad Santa, the cocaine Santa, and we had the snowmen, and snow signifies, sometimes, something else. Let's just say that, So I can't resist it. I have to buy the chocolate snowman. I think I bought some before Christmas too, but it's there. I gotta get it. Anyway, bye for now. Hello, everybody. I just got back, and look who's hiding. I wouldn't have seen you, sweetie. You were so well hidden. That's Agita, We got Agita, And we got one of the babies here. And we got the other baby here. And I'm going to sit here and do my quick synopsis of the week. I talked quite a bit in the car, just because there was that semi-synchronicitous, meeting with, I wasn't looking to talk to a marketing person, but marketing person happened to be in the restaurant doing marketing for the restaurant and interviewed me. So, doing online marketing and stuff like that, and podcast placements, and had an interesting talk with her, and very difficult to try to explain the podcast and what they do. And that they try to explain that they deal with, addictions, their main focus, but they're about cats, they're about my family, they're about cats, and they're about cars, and they're about food, and they're about house renovations, and they're about literature, and psychology, and philosophy, and all kinds of shit, art gallery visits, and, movie reviews, and everything. And she was going, with podcasts, you can have somebody tape you with images in the background. And I said, that's how I started. Now it's evolved to this. And I don't think that this is an accepted way of doing. This is vlogging, and she pointed that out. This is actually called vlogging. So this is a vlog, but and I have a few. I have 20 to 40 viewers, from week to week. Some friends, and now I have a couple of people that are not friends, or acquaintances, or somebody I just met in a restaurant who follows them and finds them interesting and asks questions about AI and this and that on by email. So kind of what she said though makes sense. That if I want to, and that's the question, if I want to try to get more viewers, which I don't know if I do. I always said I don't really want more viewers. I don't want millions. I'm not competing with anyone. I do these entirely for myself and the few people that stumble across them, that I send them to, that that find them interesting, whether it is for the food or for the struggles with addiction, or the views about art and psychology, or cars or houses or whatever, the day-to-day stuff that I deal with, So if anyone finds any of that stuff interesting, fine, do I want to expand? On the one hand, I don't really want to, but I see her point. The way to do it would be to do the 1 minute Instagram thingies. So if I do collaborate with her or hire her or somebody else, or anyone, to get me started on how to do Instagrams and how to post myself, and maybe get somebody to do it for me first, and then go from there. And once and that makes the most sense in terms of you do a 1 minute thingy about whatever, and I think it would have to be addiction. So it would have to be 9 weeks clear, 10 weeks clear that I'm dealing with an addiction on my own, not 12 steps. And I'm a nutty professor, and this is I've had these various approaches to, and you could say successful, unsuccessful. Successful in the sense that I'm not a daily user, I can manage weeks at a time, 10, 12, 14 weeks, even 19.5 months during the pandemic, which was a very big push. But then on the other hand, kind of go to 12 weeks, and then the pulls get very, very strong. So, but then focus just on that aspect. And if somebody wants to find out more, how did I make that that from 11 weeks to 12 weeks? What were the pulls? What were the pushes? Then they go to YouTube, and I made it this past week with the distractions and the pushes and the kids, obviously, number one, the kids, contact with friends, distractions like my glasses, like going out to eat, going to see a movie. All of that stuff, so that's how I made this week from 8 weeks to 9 weeks, So that's what's happening. And I said at the very beginning, and, just talking to her and trying to explain it reminded me of stuff from early in the podcast when they were properly produced and they were, edited with images in the background and all of that stuff. And, but back then I had said I was doing these I intended 5 years ago when I started this, to do these for 3 groups of people. Strugglers turning, what I call, quote, strugglers, unquote, who want to turn back from the edge, don't want to go right over the edge, want to turn back, if you have reasons to turn back. In my case, at that time, it was Agita and wanting to do podcasts and wanting to eventually publish my work. And now I got the babies as well. And back then, I think I also had my friends on the list. I still have friends, but they're different friends. Those friends mostly jettisoned because I felt, whether it was true or not, I did feel them to be judgmental, and I think the group of friends I have now is less judgmental, and I did find my analyst. Now, again, I don't want to go into all of that, but I felt him to be judgmental. He wouldn't agree with that. But anyway, at this point, I'm doing this pretty much on my own, and the analysis hasn't wasn't working one way or the other for some years. And again, I talk about that anonymously and generally, but I'm not going to go into detail on it here. So, but I said back then I was doing it for 3 groups, for the people that do want to try to turn back, to try at least to turn back, but can't go 12 steps, can't go traditional, CBT, traditional rehab. So I tried to come up with my own approaches, and I get the more of the possession model, and I had the the inner werewolf, and I had the hero, and then I had the heroic journey and the shadows. And I got Puss in Boots as a hero. Again, it's tailor-made for me. It's what works for me. What doesn't work for me, not going to work for others. So I've got frameworks, and I've got what worked, what doesn't work, what works for a certain period of time, and I had all of the some Jungian stuff in there, shadow and anima. So I've got some theoretical stuff. I've got some mostly personal stuff. So for the people trying to turn back, also for the people that aren't turning back. And when I do go slithering and partying and I'm in an altered state, I do end up, sometimes telling stories, which the slitherers, the dusty dumpster rodent weasels. By the way, that's another one of my terms that I use affectionately, not judgmentally. I see myself as a dusty dumpster rodent weasel. And the people that, that are in that world now, it's also a question of, some are much more physiologically addicted than I am, so there's much less choice. But the people that are in that world, and for whatever reason, are not able to, don't want to, or are not able to, don't have the resources to turn back, and just want to keep going on the path that they're on, or then I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to say you must turn back because, you're going to kill yourself if you don't. I mean, you're on this path, that's your path, it is a lot of effort to try to turn back, and as I keep saying, I am lucky that I have my kids, and I have a safe place here, and I have resources, and I don't have to steal to do the things that I do, when I do go on binges, So I'm lucky in that sense, I'm fortunate, and I can afford to try out different things and try to turn back, So, but the people that can't, that aren't in that position, they do enjoy my stories when I tell them because, I don't hold back, and I'm, they're kind of entertaining stories, and even though they're usually quite embarrassing to me, I don't hold back details, and I write that. Again, I haven't tried to publish for various reasons, and so, and a couple of editors that I had didn't work out, but I do tell, and I also do it I also wanted to do these for the third group, which is the civilians, people that aren't familiar with that world. At the time, my crew, my producer and my editor at the time, they wanted to hear junkie stories, which I would tell them, but not include the details in podcasts because they're very personal and other people are involved in anonymity and possible legal issues, But they're kind of entertaining stories. I tell little bits I mention here. And I did get a text from a DDRW during the week, and I exchanged some texts with this person, and I just said, look, I'm at the time I was like 8 weeks clear, and I said, I've been sick, and I also spent a little money on that last binge, and I've also had to spend money now on the house and the car, and I'm paying off the debts, and when I binge hard, which is, so I'm like, at this point, and this person was very, sympathetic. Was like going, oh, if you're sick, you should do this, and drink some ginger tea. And fortunately, the illness is just about that whole, the coughing and all that is just about over. Just a little bit of congestion left. So, but that was but just being in contact with this person, there was some pull. I have to admit there was pull, but it's okay. I got distracted with all the other stuff, went to see the movie, kids, the whole glasses nightmare, and eating out and all of that. So, but I do want to, the irony is that a couple of my cat rescuer friends who I'm in contact with, they don't want to hear the details of the DDRW, the Slither stories, because they're a bit squeamish. And one of them was like going, "Can you give me a PG-13 version?" And I was like, "God, these are not PG-13 stories." So, but I do want to, that's what the writing is for. This is the laptop over there. Eventually, if I can get, and I don't hold back. When I write, I include everything, even if it doesn't portray me in a flattering light. But it's kind of very dark humor. There's very dark humor in there. So, but then if I do it that way, then change names, say that it's fictionalized, and change locations and fictionalize it. So then it becomes like more of a work of fiction, So, as I keep saying. So I was doing it all along for the three groups. And if I can reach a bit more of those groups, at least, even just, the non-partiers, the civilians, to portray this world in a different light, in a less judgmental light. And there is, as I keep saying, there's a dark humor, and they're entertaining stories. And I keep saying that the people that don't turn back or aren't turning back, strongest people I've ever met, because it's a very, very, not to romanticize that life, it's a very tough life. Very tough life. It's incredibly difficult. So I think those stories need to be told. So maybe I should think about doing the Instagram and trying to increase my viewership so that I can reach a little bit more of those 20 to 40, but reach a little bit more of those, three groups, just to get I've got 73 subscribers now. I went up 4 in the last month, which is a lot for me. So maybe I could go up to if I do Instagram, I go to 100. I'm not looking for thousands. Go to 100 subscribers, So just a little bit more exposure for the people that are interested, that find the world interesting, fascinating, whether they're part of it or not part of it. So anyway, something to think about. So I've rambled. So basically, I'm just going to say we'll come back to this. We'll talk about this more later. So, but the main news is I am now 9 weeks clear and counting. So from the 4 of us, we've got one baby there and one baby there. And Agita there, I was also trying to explain to that useless farm, and Karen Emu, and that's a different kind of animal family, Mine is the more traditional family in that they're the cat. But I talk about my personalities, the personalities of my kids, and this one being a little bit like Karen the Emu, So from Agita. One of the babies there running around, and one of the babies there. And from myself, the craziest, nuttiest, most fucked up professor to ever walk the face of the earth. Bye for now. See you on the next podcast, and hopefully tomorrow I get the new glasses. These are driving me nuts. Bye for now. See you next podcast.